Hey everybody, it's Christine here again, and I know it's been a couple of months since I did my last vlog, so I wanted to kind of update everybody on what's been going on. I started seeing an RE again back in, I want to say, beginning of January. I saw the RE for the first time since the summer, and we talked for a while, and he gave us like basically a rundown of what he wants to do. He's saying we could do a round of IUI, we could do a round of IVF, depending on what we wanted. And at the time we didn't have insurance, so we were gonna bite the bullet and pay for IUI out of pocket and give it a chance and see what happened. But they started the testing, I wanna say like mid-January, they started doing testing on me, and all of my hormone levels are fine. I'm cycling normally. I just don't have regular, monthly periods, and so they're just very light. And so I wanted to find out what was going on with that, and the doctor decided to do another HSG, which is basically they inject dye in and they look at your tubes and look at your cavity, the uterine cavity, and they kind of see what's going on. And they found out that I have, this was done, I want to say about a week and a half ago, I did my HSG. And sure enough, there's definitely scar tissue in there. In fact, one of my tubes, now this is the weird part. When I went in to get my first HSG done, back before they found the cancer, they said that my right tube was fine and my left tube was ruptured. So they wanted to remove the left tube. And I was like, you know what? I've been through enough. Just get rid of the cancer, leave the tube alone. And so I never had the tube removed. This time they went in and did the HSG. The left tube healed itself. It is totally fine. The right tube is currently blocked by scar tissue. So they want to go in and remove the scar tissue so that I can use both tubes. It was kind of a shock to the doctors because I don't think they were really prepared to have my tube heal itself, and apparently it did. So thank goodness I just ignored the doctors and didn't listen to them about, taking my tube out. There's a lot of times I just don't listen to the doctors because they want to do stuff that I'm not necessarily okay with, and taking things out of my body is one of them. So, the fact that they wanted me to have a hysterectomy, I said no, and now I'm cancer free. They wanted me to have a tubal, take out one of my tubes, and I said no. And now my tube is fine. So it just goes to show that doctors don't know everything. So just because you feel like, they're your doctor, they should know, they don't always know. And things happen and you just don't know, who knows what's gonna happen with that. So needless to say, they want me to go in for another surgery. So in February, mid-February, I'm going in for either the 17th or the 19th. We don't know yet because I'm trying to get in on the 17th, which is a holiday. But I'd prefer the hospital that they have it at because I've been there now 4 times and they know me well. So, it's like, hey, number 5. And the same doctor. And I'll say I went to go see Dr. Starin, who did all my OBGYN surgeries, and he's been just amazing. When I went in, he was like, I was hoping not to see you for a while. I was like, I know. I was hoping the next time you saw me, I'd be pregnant, but unfortunately, it's just not happening, and I'm not, everything's working perfectly, but I'm just not having periods. And so he said, yeah, it could be that there's enough scar tissue in there that it's causing you problems, and so let's go in and see what we can do. And he's been just so supportive and amazingly wonderful about the whole thing, and just smiles and pats me on the back and said, it'll all be okay. It's like, well, we'll get through this, and this is what the surgery entails. And basically it's very similar to what I've been having with the DNC, except I don't have a DNC. They'll still do the camera, the hysteroscopy, where they go with the little camera and look around. And then essentially what they do is they cut out the scar tissue. So hopefully it will all heal healthy and we won't have to worry about, having to go through it again. That's another concern, is that more scar tissue can form if they take out, it's such a mess. I feel like, just when we get ahead, something happens and kind of kicks us back a little bit. But we were able to get insurance. Like, they had open enrollment right now because of Obamacare and everything that was going through with that. They've had open enrollment and we were able to get in and get me a program. It's costing us money, but it's not costing us anywhere near what it would cost us to pay for IVF or IUI. So, and the insurance covers both IVF and IUI. So I'm very excited about that because that was a huge worry, is going in and paying for these treatments, which can cost anywhere from $500 to $16,000. No joke. $16,000. So that was another issue. We've had genetics testing done. I do not have any clotting disorders or anything like that, which is good. The other concern was we may have this translocation disorder. And so both Kevin and I have to be tested for that, and we won't get the results back for that for a while. But essentially what that is, that's a chromosomal disorder. If you have it, it's not good. It can cause multiple miscarriages. It can cause Down syndrome if you have a child who has, because essentially what it is if you think about it, there's like 2 chromosome pairs, you know, one from your mom and one from your dad for 20, I think it's like 26 pairs or whatever. It's been a while since I've taken bio, but you know, and each of the pairs are roughly the same size. What happens is a piece of pair, you know, 22 breaks off and clings to pair 16. Well, when that pair splits and goes into, it doesn't necessarily mean all the A's go into this egg and all the B's go into that egg. It doesn't happen that way. They mix up in all the different eggs. So say too much genetic information is passed into one egg, or into one sperm, whichever case it may be, then what happens is there's either too much genetic information and you end up with problems, or there's not enough genetic information and you end up with problems. So a lot of, you know, people have to go through this testing to see if that's what they have, especially if they have multiple miscarriages. So I've only had 2, but at the same time, they're like, you know, let's just do it just to make sure that that's not what you have. So they're going to be looking at that for both me and Kevin to see if either one of us are carriers of that. It's kind of scary because if we do have it, then the only way we can have a baby is if they basically genetically engineer it. So it's kind of a crazy situation. We would have to do IVF. They'd have to do ICIM or whatever it's called. Basically, they have to hand pick the sperm and hand pick the egg and put them together. You know, like it's not, there's no room for error. You know, they have to literally do everything down to the microscopic level. So it kind of takes all the, you know, joy and love out of everything when you know that it's all so mechanical and done in a lab. So for me, it's been a very, very depressing thought. But I'm optimistic because we've got the insurance we've got the surgery on its way, and the doctor's feeling very confident about the surgery. Who knows what happens after that? You know, if we don't have this translocation disorder, then maybe we can get pregnant on our own. You know, we may not even need IVF or IUI, but I have the insurance. So that makes me feel like so much more relief. On another note, I'm about 15 pounds away from IVF, so between 15 and 20. So I have to really work hard over the next 30 to 40 days, you know, however long it takes me to go through the surgery, recover, and then start the process for IVF. It could be, you know, I need to really get the weight off. So I'm kind of focusing on that and working out and doing some exercise, which I have a vlog coming out about that. And I want people to kind of understand that it's not an easy process. They don't work with you if you're overweight. They want you to lose weight. Everything's about, you know, being fit and healthy and everything. And the reality is, it's like, okay, guys, I'm 40. I'll be 41 in June. Can we like move this process along a little bit? Because it's not going to be easy for me to do this. I do want to say that I've gotten pretty sad over the last 5 months. When I didn't get pregnant right off the bat after the last surgery, I was really depressed because I had 4 cycles that were perfect. There was no reason for me not to get pregnant, and I didn't. So other than the fact that my lining might be too thin and the scar tissue is blocking stuff. So that would be the only reason that I can see why we didn't get pregnant, because my cycles were perfect. So I was just devastated, and I've been basically going through and sifting through. I hardly ever go on Facebook anymore. I don't even want to look at my news feeds anymore because all of my friends have kids. All of my friends are having babies. And I cannot stress to you enough how hard it is to be in the position that I'm in and have you posting your baby pictures up all over the place. I love you. You guys are my friends, and I'm happy for you. But at the same time, it's really, really hard. So there are people that I've been unfriending because I know, and it's not that I don't like you as a person or whatever. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that I don't need to follow your whole birth story. You know, like I don't need to follow every month. You're going to be posting 25 times a day about your baby and it's kicking you in this and that. I'm happy that you're having a baby. I don't need to know about it. And it's sad that I feel that way, but at the same time, I've been going at this for 8 years coming up in April. 8 years, people. That's a long time to want a baby. It's a long time to have the one thing that you've always wanted all your life and not be able to get. I mean, when I was younger and I wasn't married, I wasn't dating, I was so happy for people when they would get pregnant. I get excited for my friends and my family members when they would get pregnant, because that means, oh, there's another baby for me to hang out with and play with or whatever. But the minute it becomes a factor where I can't have a baby, it's not that I didn't want to have children. I wanted kids, but I wasn't married. So to me, you know, you don't have kids out of wedlock. I don't believe in that. So, I mean, I probably could have, but, you know, that wouldn't have been good. It would have been just as bad as, you know, then Kevin would have had to deal with me having a kid from some other guy. Yeah, no, thank you. So, you know, this to me is the time in my life when I wanted to have children. And I get to that point and then only to find out I can't. It is a very different feeling. I may have been that girl that everybody, you know, wanted to have baby showers and do, you know, have fun with or whatever. But now it's different. So I think you just have to understand and be sympathetic towards me that it's not going to be, oh, happy joy, let me celebrate you and your baby, because I would love to, but I just can't. I'm just not there emotionally. And I think, you know, I've got family members. Oh my God, I think like 8 of our cousins had babies this year. And I mean, my nephew like cornered me one day and he says, you know, are you gonna be mad at me if we get pregnant? And I'm like, why would I be mad at you? I'm not gonna be mad at you. It's not that, it's not anger, it's sadness. And people don't realize that it's not, you're not mad at the other person for getting pregnant. You're sad because you're not pregnant. It's a different, it has nothing to do with the other person. It's all within you and what you're going through, and it's totally normal. I'm on so many support groups for women with infertility, and many of them feel the same way. They hate their Facebook pages because all they see is everybody's pregnant, and it's very sad. And I'm one of my fertility groups, one of the women is a little bit younger than me, and she just posted that her journey is over. And it hit me so hard, because family members have said to me, what are you going to do if you can't have a baby? What are you going to do? I have no idea what I'm going to do, because my whole life has been, I want to be a mom. I know Kevin's like, we'll adopt. And I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll adopt. But, you know, it's not the same. Carrying a baby in your tummy, feeling it, seeing that sonogram, those are all things that I want. And I'm not going to have if I don't have my own child. And I just cannot express that to people enough. It's very different. Adoption, you're going to love it like it's your own, but it will never be yours. It's always going to be somebody else's kid that you're raising. And as much as you're going to love and adore them and have them as your child, you're going to be their parent, but there's never going to be that blood bond. And there's something different about that. There's just something different about it. And I want that desperately. And if I can't have it, yes, it's going to be like time for therapy. Because seriously, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through that without a lot of therapy. I mean, I'm very fortunate to have Kevin, who's wonderful to me and takes good care of me, but, you know, and he's been a wonderful support system. But the reality is, I want a baby. I want my own baby. And it's very difficult. So, you know, please be understanding about the fact that if I defriend you, it is not that I don't like you or I don't care. It's because I just have to have time to deal with it and to deal with what's going on with me. But on a happier note, I'm feeling like, you know, when I do get pregnant, the whole world is going to celebrate with us, because we have so many people who are asking and trying to find out what's going on and what's happening. And do you think you're pregnant? You know, oh my gosh, you know, I'm so excited. So I know that when we do finally cross that border, because in my heart and soul, I know we will. I know we will. And even Kevin won't let me get down on myself. He's like, honey, he's like, I know this feels like another roadblock. He's like, just let it go. Because you know what? We don't have all the facts. We don't know what's going to happen after the surgery. We don't know what's going to happen, you know, if we do IVF. We have no idea. So the reality is we just don't know. We're in that limbo stage. So until we get out of that, you know, it's all guesswork and speculation. So I'm hoping that everything will go good and that my surgery will go well. And, you know, I'll keep you guys posted when it gets closer to the day of the surgery. I'll probably do another vlog just to let everybody know it's coming up. But right now it's either February 19th or February 17th. So You know, we'll wait and see what happens with that. And then after that, who knows? You know, it's all speculation, like I said. So we'll have to wait and see. But keep us in your prayers and in your thoughts, because I'm telling you, they work. If it wasn't for all your thoughts and prayers, I don't think I would have ever gotten through the cancer. So the fact that I'm now over that hump and moving into the next hump, keep your thoughts and prayers coming, because I'm telling you, they do work, and I believe wholeheartedly in my heart they do. So thank you all so much for keeping us in your thoughts and prayers, and hopefully soon, very soon, maybe in the next couple months, you'll hear about us having a baby. And oh gosh, if we do IVF and it's twins, then it'll be crazy. Crazy O'Reillys and their twins. But you know, who knows? With my luck, it'll be quints. Because they're like, oh, that never happens. I'm like, don't ever say to me that never happens, because I am the person it always happens to. So, you know, you put 2 eggs in there, it's going to multiply to 4 and be like Kate Gosselin walking around with 6 babies inside me. So please don't, you know, don't tell me, oh, that never happens, because it will happen to me. So don't wish that on me at all. I would love to have a house full, but not all at once. Yeah. 2 I can handle. 4 I don't think so. I think I'd have to strangle myself. You know, but, I mean, I'll probably figure out how to do it, but I know I don't think I could do daycare with it. I think that would be like the end of my daycare. So who knows? But everybody, thank you again, and hopefully my next vlog will be some more good news. So take care.